It's all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money 40 years in tax in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it.
You know, I find it funny that everybody now wants to call this for what it always been, which is a scam. The 9-to-5 system is a scam. Medicare, taxes is a scam. What else? Social Security is a scam. And listen, man, by the time most of you who are probably watching this get older, definitely by the time I get older, right, which is in the next, 30 to 35 years, Social Security is going to be null and void. Listen, quite frankly, they just don't have the money anymore. And then when you account for the amount of young people who are exiling themselves out of the workforce, the amount of unemployed people that there is nowadays, and we're talking about true unemployment. We're not talking about what the government is reporting as unemployment, because unemployment is in between jobs, haven't found a job in a certain amount of time, right? And the countless others who are working more than one part-time job. They don't count those as being unemployed. They count those as being employed, when we already know that is as good as nothing. And then the people who do have a full-time job, they're barely getting by. The whole system is a sham and a scam. And listen, the ones who are figuring it out, the ones who are going to figure it out, and the ones who are moving and grooving are the ones who see the writing on the wall. The ones who notice that, listen, you're going to have to create a whole different system on your own. You're going to have to create a new system for yourself and your family if you have one. And I especially feel bad for the elders, man. Do I feel bad for the elders? I don't even know if I feel bad for the elders, because they're the ones who bought into this system, right? They're the ones who told everybody else, listen, this is the perfect system. This is going to be okay. Make sure you put money away for your 401k. Man, you'll be lucky. You'll be lucky, first and foremost, if you even have a job that offers matches and a 401k in general. But you'll be even more lucky if you even get to put away enough money for your 401k. Listen, man, with the cost of living, with the cost of goods, with the cost of services, with the cost of how much car maintenance is, with the cost of rent, with the cost of food, with the cost of transportation, everything in a nutshell, who is putting money away in their 401k in the first place? I know, especially with me, many weeks, I'm like, no, I'm not putting money into my 401k. If anything, I'll take the money and invest it myself. I'm not putting money into a 401k. You're not taking money out of my check and then, throwing it in there. I don't care if they do match. That's just how I feel, right? I think things cost too much. Emergencies come up. I need all of my pennies. I need all of my coins. And if you listen, if you are the one who, every single paycheck, you throwing something in your 401k, hey, shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to you. You're better than me. But for the most part, a lot of the system, it was never meant to work this long, right? Many people were bred and taught that this was going to be the system, for forever. When we're just now, especially young people, right? You're under 30s, you're under 35s, you're under 40s. They're seeing that I got to find a new route. I got to find something that's going to work for me, because I see now that the politicians are all in it for themselves. Do you think, I'm going to ask y'all something. Do you think the politicians care if Social Security work or not? Do you think they care if you're able to retire or not? They do not care. And quite frankly, when you travel to other places of the world, man, most people are going to work until they die, right? America was led to believe this fairy tale. America was led to believe that, you just work hard enough. You work hard enough and you save enough money, you just might end up with enough 401k. You just might end up with $1 million. You just may end up with $1.5 million. Listen, man, in 2026 and beyond, $1 million is chump change, right? I'm sorry. $1 million is chump change. If you do the math, break down the math. How many of you actually have a budget? That's a good question I should be asking. How many of you actually have a budget? How many of you actually have a spreadsheet? How many of you actually are tracking how much groceries cost? How many of you are actually tracking the cost of your bills every single month? How many of you are actually tracking this, right? I guarantee you most people are not even tracking this. And most people are not tracking also the CPI report, where it's literally telling us everything is going up, essentially, right? Groceries are going up. Gas is going up, and these are essentially hidden taxes. I want y'all to know that these are hidden taxes. Inflation is a hidden tax on life, right? Why does it have anybody ever? Why does inflation go up every single year? Why doesn't it ever go down? Right? Why doesn't it ever go down? Listen, it's a method to their madness. It's a method to their madness, and it's done on purpose, right? And inflation is good for certain things, like asset classes, maybe gold, Bitcoin, real estate. Inflation is good in that sense, and that may be one of the reasons why they continue to allow inflation to go up, so that the asset classes or the people who own asset classes, they can continue to see a benefit. But for the rest of you, you're not going to see a benefit from this, man. And it's sad to say that many people still are not coming around to this unfortunate truth. I remember a guy, right, an older guy. He had to be a Gen X or a Boomer. He had to be one of the two. But he came into the job and he was just explaining to us young folks, right? Trump is trying to do well by the United States. Listen, he said, in the next year or two, we're going to see nothing but prosperity. All of the things that he's doing right now is for the betterment of your paycheck and the betterment for the gas pump. And we just looking at this ninja like, you know what? I hope you're right, sir. I hope you're right. We're just looking at this ninja like, yeah, ninja, he definitely drinking the Kool-Aid, right? And millions and millions and millions of people are still drinking the Kool-Aid, and most of these people are probably rich boomers, right? Most of these people are probably rich Gen Xers, people who actually benefited from that time period. That's probably the generation that is describing this like, it's just, oh, it'll get better. It'll, eventually it'll pick up. Sure. But if you pay attention to the stats, if you pay attention to the numbers, it's not looking likely. And that's actually not how the numbers look on paper when you talk about the past 50 years. But, continue boomers, continue talking your talk, continue destroying the country, continue telling us young people these lies that we clearly see for what it is, because most of the boomers own the asset classes. Most of the boomers own the real estate market. Just look and see the average age for a new home buyer in America. I believe it's 45 years old. That's ridiculous, right? Once upon a time, you had a time period where it was quite normal for the 20-year-old to own a home, right? And this is why marriages are also plummeting. This is why a lot of men and women are straying away from, serious relationships, because, if you can't own a home, and especially for men, right? Men still have that pressure of being a breadwinner. Men still have that pressure of, being the leader, right? And if men especially, they don't have jobs, they don't have career paths that they can get into to be able to afford themselves the luxury of having a family. Because let's be quite honest, man, having a family is a luxury, right? Having a child is a luxury nowadays. And this is the age that we're getting into. Having a whole family and having children and things like that. That's more so a symbol of luxury now. Marriage is like a symbol of luxury now, because let's be real, the general population can't afford to be married. And you would think, right? You would think that, putting two incomes together. But let's be real and let's be honest, ladies. Can we be honest? Right? Let's be real. If you get with a man, right? If you get with a man, are you looking to work? Be real. Like, I understand it. I understand it. So let's be real. Are you looking to work, or are you looking to be taken care of? Are you looking to be saved in a sense? And the answer to that, even though ladies ain't gonna be honest, they're not gonna be honest. They don't get honest until they're about a year into the relationship and they say, "Babe, I want to quit." Right? The truth is, a lot of women who get into relationships and marriages, they're looking at the man as, hey, I want you to make more. Hey, I want you to take me out of work. Hey, I can't work at the same time and be this wife, this mother that you want me to be. And it's a fair judgment. It's a fair assessment, right? Because being a mom is a full-time job. Listen, I understand that, right? Being a mother is a full-time job. Being a traditional wife is a full-time job. And I wish more men understood that. So when you want this out of a woman, and most men do, they understand that they have to be able to afford it. And most men can't afford it like they did back in the day. Back in the day, you could afford to put your wife up in a house, have a paid off car and a paid off house, and so on and so forth. That was back then. Nowadays, men can barely afford to wash their ass, man. Right? Men can barely afford to afford a piece of tissue, right, to wipe their goddamn on ass. And this is just the truth of the matter. And that downfall of that structure, right, the downfall of the position of the man has led to a lot more debauchery than we like to really talk about. But that's a whole different conversation. But men are not making the money, right? Women as well are not making the money. And like I said, you would think that putting two incomes together would benefit the household. But listen, once a man and a woman get together, listen, both parties are not going to be able to exercise the same exact things. They're not going to be able to operate on the same spectrum, right? So either that man has to come out of work for the woman to make more, or the woman has to come out of work for that man to make more. And listen, I don't know about you, but I don't need my woman making more than me in that sense, because we know how that goes. But anyway, man, back to the whole scam alert, scam likely. Everything that you were taught, everything that you were raised to believe, everything that you were bred to believe is now coming to a head. Right? It is now coming to a head, and it is about to pop now. Right? The traditional jobs is about to pop. That system is about to pop. Social Security, the traditional safety nets are about to pop. Medicare is about to pop, right? Every traditional safety nets that you can think of, all of this stuff is about to come to a head, and all of this stuff is about to come to an end and pop. So what does it come down to now? What it comes down to now is you coming up with your own system, because America is not going to be here to correct your exact path. They're not here to correct it. They're not here to save you. They're not here to guide you or anything of that nature, right? They're a government and an entity of their own. They have to save themselves. So you have to act accordingly. You have to go ahead and save yourself as well. And many people are still sitting around, man. And this is why I keep saying that a lot of people are just going to be left behind. A lot of people are going to be stuck like Chuck. A lot of people are going to be really surprised at the demolition of this current system, because they're still operating in this current system and not operating in a brand new system, which is the sovereignty of individuals. You got to get out here and hustle. I know many Americans are not used to hustling, man, because you're used to the The 9 to 5 system, you used to daddy government coming along and saving you and giving you a plan and bailing you out and so on and so forth. You're used to that kind of system. That system has come to an end. There's no more bailouts. There are no more jobs coming. All of these jobs that y'all have, these pointless jobs, listen, it doesn't matter anymore. It's coming to an end, and you're gonna have to figure things out on your by yourself. And listen, man, I have a whole entire app that I just invented, that I just came out with. It is called Horizon Atlas. So if you've been thinking about leaving the United States, if you ever wanted to know about safety, if you ever wanted to know about a particular city, country, neighborhood, is it cool for your kids here? What schools could you possibly put your kids in? Listen, Horizon Atlas may be an app for you. I will have it listed in the description below. And you can also come over to the Patreon and join the inner circle. We are a high intensity group of men who are headed in a direction with like-mindedness and consciousness, and we're tackling everything that life throws our way. We're inventing apps. We're coming up with apps. We have a few YouTubers over on there. We're trading thought processes. We're doing everything we can to stay ahead of the game and to be ahead of the game. And if you want to connect with like-minded individuals, come over and join the Patreon. I have hundreds of videos, mindset videos, and videos teaching you how to come up with your own app and show you exactly what I've done and what I'm doing to be able to live in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic at this point in time. So make sure you hit that link in the description for Horizon Atlas. Go ahead and check out the app. It is a relocation app. It could be for you. Go ahead and check it out. And also check out the Patreon and come over and join the inner circle. The group is growing and we're becoming more knowledgeable. And listen, we also have a networking event in Cartagena, Colombia at the end of the year going into the new year. So if you want to be a part of that, come over to the Patreon, join the inner circle, and we will get you situated and get you with the plan that you need to get. So listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live in purpose, in freedom, and in power. I see you guys on the next one. I see you guys on the Patreon. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here, and I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The escape blueprint, PFP life.